coming to the cage, Wadsworth, Ohio. That's his home. I want to know if this guy knows anything about submissions because I believe he does.
Well, Ronnie, this is going to be the first time in the cage for Neal Nutter. A huge crowd, huge contingent from Wadsworth tonight coming down here to the Canton Civic Center. He is the wrestling coach at Cloverleaf, and Nutter, training with Team Side Mount, will make his way into the cage for the first time.
Jeff, I got to tell you, Nutter is the coach at Cloverleaf. He also wrestled Division I at Cleveland State. Great Greco-Roman. I was talking to Tony Sylvester prior to this fight about this guy. He said he is the real deal, got great wrestling skills. Tony, as you know, good wrestler in his own right out of Ohio State. Not only that, but Neal's got a brother named Nick who trained back in the day with Ohio's Mark Coleman, UFC champ. And,
pretty good pedigree right there, Steve.
Yeah, Nick also fought Igor Folchansik back in the day, I think once, maybe even 2 times. So Neal Nutter may come in here as a novice making his debut, but I don't think he's any stranger to contact sports by any means.
Contact sports, maybe not a stranger, very familiar when he has someone on the mat, but when he's standing up, that may be a foreign territory. Even though he's a very physical guy, even though he's got the Roman Greco wrestling, he's got a tremendous wrestling background. This is different. You've got to be tremendously versatile when you speak of MMA.
Well, and that is if the opponent is able to keep the fight standing. With a guy with this kind of wrestling background, this kind of skill, don't be too surprised if this thing goes to the ground, Ronnie, very, very quickly.
But when it goes to the ground, he'll be very comfortable.
When it goes to the ground, he's at home.
So I guess
home.
If his opponent's going to learn about him, then he's going to have to try to keep Nutter standing up. We'll see if he can do it.
Now, calling to the cage, Dave Lama.
All right, Dave Lama coming to the cage from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, just outside of Columbus, Ohio. And he told me coming in, this might be my first match. It won't be my last.
All right, so he's already decided that he's in this for the long haul, Steve.
Well, that's the attitude you like. I mean, Jeff, you know, these guys coming in to Fight Fest, we want them coming back. You know, win, lose, or draw, we want them coming back. I talked to Dave Lama before this fight. He says he's well-versed in kickboxing, BJJ. He's got a blue belt evidently given to him some time ago by Hoist Gracie. So this guy could be good on the ground. I mean, if he's got a blue belt out of the Gracie system, this guy knows what he's doing. And the one thing I can tell you that Neal Nutter wants to be very, very cautious of is leading with his head, and that's what wrestlers do naturally. So I think Dave Lama, if he's well coached, will be looking for a potential choke.
So even though this is the first time either of these two has gotten into the Fight Fest cage, they both have a wealth of experience. This should be a pretty exciting fight.
I'm looking forward to it. 2 of the big guys getting it done. But the one thing I think we can't emphasize enough, this is their very first fight. And I remember my very first fight. Your legs aren't there, your arms aren't there. Sure, your friends and your family are there and they're outside the ring or outside the cage. But once you step into that cage, it's man on man. It's one-on-one.
You're all by
yourself.
yourself.
All of a sudden, it's all by yourself. It's not a sparring session. It's not a training session. It's reality. And baby, you better get rid of those butterflies real quick because before you know it, the referee says go. And if you're not ready, shame on you.
And your opponent will knock those butterflies right out of you. So it's beware. This should be a real good fight, Nutter and Lama. And whoever wins this could be on its way to establish himself in the heavyweight division.
All right, let's go upstairs.
Looking at the two, Nutter looks to be dominant physically. Here we go up to the cage.
In the red corner, making his debut tonight, representing Team Side Mount from Wadsworth, Ohio, Neal Nutter. In the blue corner, also making his debut tonight, representing Precision Fighting from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, it's Dave Lama.
Well, even though this cage isn't being set up in Wadsworth, Ohio, sounds like a hometown advantage for Neal Nutter.
Yeah, Neal Nutter is definitely a crowd favorite. The guy looks great. Looks like he's in shape. He looks big. He looks rough. You know, obviously got the wrestling advantage.
He looks like he's done this before.
You know, again, Ronnie, Jeff, as we've talked about, the one thing that the wrestlers do, and any wrestler in MMA will tell you this, is they lead with their heads. It's what they do naturally, and they sometimes get choked because of that. So we'll find out what happens. Nice punch, nice shot. Wow.
Nice start there for Nutter.
Nice shot by Neal Nutter.
Trying to control Lama there, but Lama pulls guard. But Nutter's fighting right through it.
Remember, fellas, there's a lot of energy going on in this ring. A lot of folks just saying to themselves, I got to go for it fast, but you've got to take your time. You've got to make sure that you are composed and willing to wait it out, because if they make one mistake and all of a sudden lose that adrenaline, lose that energy, you can take advantage.
Neal Nutter in the guard of Dave Lama. Dave is going to have to control him in this position because right now Neal Nutter is having his way.
Yeah, Lama's got to get off his back somehow because Nutter's in a very controlling spot here.
Jeff, with Lama, with the BJJ background, Lama is probably where he wants to be. He's just going to have to do better with those legs. He's got a very loose guard right now. He's got an open guard, and you see Neal Nutter dragging, actually pushing Lama over to his corner. So now he's not only got position, but he's sitting right there where he can listen to his coach, who is Josh Hendricks. And Josh Hendricks knows a little bit about the cage, believe me when I tell you that.
He just struck him with the left hand.
Nutter just changing things up with the knees, and now he's on top, looking for some ground and pound.
Nutter's obviously got his head on straight. He dragged his opponent right over, looking for a key lock. Dragged his opponent over to his own corner. He's listening to Josh Hendricks.
Nutter doing just about what he wants here. Lama's in really bad shape right here. Trying to escape. There he goes.
There's Nutter looking for that neck.
What a shot by
Throws a low
Lama.
knee.
Good recovery.
Crowd was a little concerned with the knee. The ref said that the knee went to the chest. Called it okay.
Both guys have their mouths wide open. They are exhausted in the ring. That's why they're posturing to see who will take advantage.
I'm really impressed with Lama. He came back from a lot of punishment. I thought he was finished.
Nutter goes for a takedown, and Lama does a pretty decent job of stepping back and negating that takedown.
Got a cut just under the left eye of Lama.
Yeah, Lama's cut, breathing heavy.
Nutter again trying to bully Lama around, but he's not buying it.
Both guys are looking for that second win right now. Wouldn't you agree, Steve?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, Ron.
Just
There's no question
furious
about it. These guys
pace
are a little
at the
bit
beginning of this
tired.
fight.
They come in big guys. They set the pace high really, really early on.
Couple nice shots by Lama.
Dave Lama is doing a decent job in there with Neal Nutter.
Looks like we're going back to the stand-up.
Nice leg kick, another one. Nutter takes it to the ground where he's comfortable. He's right there with Josh Hendricks in his ear.
Trying to hammer away one more time.
And again, with Lama being a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I would like to see him do a little better job with his guard. But you need to get these legs around and get him controlled rather than letting him float like he is.
But Steve, you also have to be impressed with his defense because let's face it, Nutter has him down on his back, and a lot of those punches didn't land.
A lot of them didn't land. I think I'm very impressed with the fact that he's still in there. I'd have been a little more impressed had he closed that guard and went for a submission off of some of those punches. I think Nutter was a little high, which means a little more forward than he should have been in that guard. I think Lama had some opportunity, maybe he didn't capitalize on.
Jeff, one thing I know, both guys were so happy when they heard the horn with the sound of the round was over.
That's right, Ronnie. They both showed a lot of flash, a lot of good ability, but they also showed that they're very raw. They got those first butterflies out. It's going to be interesting to see if each man can play to his strengths in the second round, because we saw a little bit of both man's strength in the first round.
But I think Steve spoke of it very early. You notice the wrestler did what? It was a move directed with his head. And then the tremendous pace of round number one. Look at these guys. I mean, you can see them in their corners right now, and they are breathing hard. You know what? They might be 20-something. I'm almost 50-something. I don't need as much oxygen as those guys need right now.
That was a fast first round for
heavyweights.
Very fast.
For heavyweights. That was a fast first round for any weight.
For any weight.
Much less guys these size. These are big boys up there, and they are fighting furious. That's a great first round, both guys.
Yeah, that was very entertaining. They're going to have to pace themselves a lot more in the second round, take things a little slower. I know they're excited, but they've got to go a little slower.
Let me ask you something. Who looks the best moving forward? Because I'm going to be honest with you, watching Nutter, he appears to be on an island that he's never seen, backing up. When he's moving backwards, he's in foreign territory.
Well, I think Nutter definitely looks better going forward, and I think he was the one taking the fight forward. And as a wrestler, he's not going to want to go backwards.
Here we go, round two.
Now that things are going to slow down a little bit, I am looking forward to the second round. And I tell you, Nutter did a nice job with that big shot before he took that takedown in the first round.
I'm still amazed that Lama came back.
Lama comes out and does a decent job himself. Nutter looking for the takedown.
Lama's doing a good job frustrating Nutter by going to a stalemate with him.
Nutter is just trying to manhandle him, and Lama rolls him over.
Nutter with the reversal on the wrestler. Pretty impressive.
There's nothing more difficult, Ronnie and Jeff, than a fighter getting up and down in a mixed martial